Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of The Shy, Season 6, Episode 4, called Re-Up. Before I get started with this review, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. So let's get started. A lot went on. They packed a lot in this episode. So let's get started with the review. We see that it's 4:20 in the land of the shy, and Duda is in his nice shower with a lady friend, and he's smoking a cigar in the shower. That was funny. And his lady friend, she had a joint, and she was trying to get him blow some smoke in his face. He was fanning it off because it messes with his head. So Duda doesn't do drugs. So this girl, she looks familiar. She looks like the girl from Girlfriend, Jill, I think her name is, but I'm not sure if that's really her. And as they're in the shower, an oldie but goodie comes back. Rosalyn interrupts their shower, and she's there to inform Duda that Quincy Q was an informant. So Duda killed an informant. So it's federal now. And I guess they're going to be looking into his murder. I don't know how long ago it was that his body was found in the river, because that's where he dumped it. So it was 4:20 this very day. So they visit scenes with everybody celebrating 420 in their own way. They had Emmett cooking in his kitchen with Shad and Victor some weed wings. I guess it was wings infused with weed, and they were going to sit and enjoy it. But Victor didn't. He had other things on his mind. He wanted to get together a health summit. He's thinking about other things. He's not thinking about getting high. He's thinking about helping the people for real. But Shad's over there. He couldn't wait for the wings to be done. Truth be told, Emmett couldn't either, because he had a lot on his mind. He's worried about this gun that he can't find in his house. The kids, they were all playing a game, getting high. All the kids were all coupled up, Papa and his friend. He tried to, make it seem like it was his girlfriend, and she shut that down real quick. And she's a little church girl, and those are the only two not getting high in the room. They're playing some game, couples game or some game, and she's a little short with the girls because I guess she feels that she's a little bit better than them because she's not partaking in the festivities. Maisha, was she having fun? Was she taking
It looked like she was having more fun than the girl that Papa brought to the
Well, yeah. But Maisha and Gemma, they got a little tension in between them because
Kevin and Maisha were acting weird, as everyone says.
Yeah, and there's some issue with the money Gemma wasn't totally honest with. So there's a little bit of tension there. I don't know what that's going to build up to be. Darnell was enjoying himself in his weed, and next to him was Jada. She was enjoying it too. Oh, they were trying to order their weed on the phone. And I think it was Jada who wanted the oil, right? Was it her?
I forget what the order was. However,
massage oil. She wanted that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, she wanted the massage oil. Dre was getting her 420 on, and then Nina wanted some watermelon gummies.
She did.
Who else?
That Darnell scene was probably one of the funniest scenes in the whole episode.
Him ordering by phone because he didn't. They asked him how high you want to get. He sat and looked up.
He looked to the ceiling. He's like.
And Fatima was eating her wings, and she ordered a tincture. Those are little drops that they use to infuse it with weed-infused food or whatever. So everybody was enjoying 420. Rosalyn went to Victor's place of employment to let him know that he's an accomplice in the death of Q. He at first said he didn't have nothing to do with it, and he didn't. But what happened was when Q was killed, Duda put him in a car and picked up Victor along the way. And I think Victor heard pounding or something in the car. Anyway, he showed Victor what was in the trunk, and it was Duda still alive. And then
Q still
I'm
alive.
sorry, it was Q still alive, and then Duda shooting him multiple times, killing him. That's how Victor's involved. Duda can't do nothing by himself. He needs to get somebody else in trouble, or he uses it for leverage later on. Victor's house, he has his girlfriend that he's asked to live with him. She has her friends over. So, Victor's girlfriend is really a trans woman, and that's Fatima. And so Fatima had two of her trans women friends over. They were going to redecorate the house, and the house is full with kids, and her friends ask, who are these kids? And she lets them know that her boyfriend's brother sells clothes out of the house. And one of the customers saw the girls talking, all three ladies, and he was making fun of them, calling them names, homophobic names, and Jake sprung into action.
These niggas ain't my friends. It's a custom. If you can't respect my house or the people in it, you can get the fuck out. But I'm gonna show gay ass shirt, no way. Come me.
He's like, if you can't respect the house and the people who live here, you have to get out. He handled it real well. I guess that he's like a true ally. It doesn't bother him one way or another. I guess he's just cool. He's not like the others. It's very welcoming, huh?
He's different.
So yeah, I think Fatima don't mind him being around. She feels very supported, and her friends can see how well she's supported. It's like a real thing here. No one's trying to exploit her. I guess they're kind of worried about that. Now, one thing that was interesting, Tiana, who used to go out with Victor as a fake girlfriend, who slept with Rashad, is now dating Marcus. And Marcus and her and Rashad and his girlfriend Deja were invited to Darnell's house and Jada's house for dinner. And there was a little something going on between Deja and Tiana. I guess Deja sense that Tiana she's not right, or she's not on. What does she do? She thinks that something's going on between her and her man in the past, maybe. Because women know.
There was an incident, I think.
They did go out to dinner.
After that, I think there was an incident with. I think she went to her house. No.
I'm not sure what happened between them. They had a dinner last season. It was Tiana and was it Victor came, and it was Deja and Rashad, I think, at a dinner.
And then she ended up leaving with Rashad, right?
Yeah.
Or something, yeah. Something like that happened.
Maybe the girlfriend had to leave. I don't know. But I think Deja sensed something about that.
Well, because her and Rashad and what's-her-face, I'm pretty sure they left that evening together.
Maybe they did.
Or something like that.
They had a scene with Dre working in her office, and her ex-fiance is there working as a masseuse, and the girl didn't want nothing to do with Dre, and Dre pretty much didn't seem like she wanted anything to do with the girl. And then the girl, when she saw how happy Dre was, I think she was trying to flirt with her, seduce her, and ask her to coffee, and Dre wasn't budging. So I don't know what we're to make of that.
Dre seemed very uninterested.
Yeah. The girl was uninterested too until she saw that Dre was uninterested. And then she became interested. Because she wanted to wreck a home.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I don't know. That's the end of it. That was the beginning and end. So I don't. Maybe something's going to happen later. Doodah pays Papa's dad a visit in the church, and it was Papa's dad, and it was Doodah and Nuck, and they wanted Papa's dad to hold a bag of cash, and Papa's dad stood up to him and told him no. And then later they were in the church, Papa's Doodah and Nook in the back of the church was listening to his sermon, and Papa's dad just stood tall in front of his congregation. So I don't know if Papa's dad was afraid. Doodah told Nook to take him out or take care of it. And so are we to assume that Nook is going to kill Papa's dad? They set it up like that is one scenario.
I believe he's going to ask for Bakari's help, and then Bakari and Papa's dad are going to kill Nook or something. Or Bakari's going to kill him.
Yeah. I hope
or Bakari and Papa kill him, or something like weird happens.
Or somebody else is going to get shot too. And I believe
it's going to be a multiple involvement.
I think Bakari might stand in front of the bullet.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That might happen. That just might happen.
There's also some guns that Nook went over to... Oh, no. Bakari took Shad into like the cigar lounge where Doodah works because he was going to get some work. Because at dinner that he had with Darnell had a business proposition, but they needed a little cash. So Rashad had already done one job for Doodah, and he wasn't going to do another one until this job opportunity came up. And so Bakari took him to the lounge, and Doodah wanted to give him some guns to hold, and Shad thought about it, and he didn't want that kind of trouble. He didn't want to go back to jail, and so he left. And then the look that Bakari and Doodah had made you think that
Shad was out.
That Bakari was going to kill Shad. And we didn't see Shad again in the series, in the episode. So there's a chance that they took Shad out. So we'll have to see. That's one person who could be killed. To Emmett's house, and Nut gave the guns to Emmett to hold. And Emmett right now currently has that bag of guns, I think they're like machine guns, held in his house on the west side of Chicago.
Where his kids are.
And
weren't him and his dad just having a conversation about that or something?
Yeah, earlier Darnell told Emmett that he had the gun that he'd been looking for. And Emmett's like, oh, I've been looking for that gun. And his dad goes, I want it back. His dad told him no. And Emmett said, I don't need your permission. And his dad goes, but you need my protection. And he knows his son is not street smart in any way. Victor wanted to hold like a men's health summit where men can get together and just talk. There is no agenda, just talk. So the men do get together. Emmett is there with his dad, and Victor is there, and who else was there? Oh, Jamal, Lene's brother, was there. Rashad was there. Marcus was there, and the campaign manager for Victor was there, or I think he's chief of staff, or what, I don't know what he is, because a councilman, I don't know if you have all that, but he works for him in some capacity. And it was really good because they just became real. Got rid of that jive. Everybody was complaining about their lives. Emmett juggling women. Um, who else? Victor. He's can't make everybody happy. Uh, Marcus and his girlfriend and his daughter splitting time with those two. There were some others there, and
Darnell.
What was his problem?
Fathering.
That's what he said?
Well, Emmett said it, and then he touched
Yeah,
it.
Emmett talked about his father not being there, and he thinks the reason why he's having problems juggling work and baby mamas and girlfriend and kids is because he never saw a role model. And that made Darnell think, yeah, he wasn't there for him to show him to be an example on what life should look like, be like. Uh, and I think that, that hit Darnell right where it should have, made him stop and think. But I don't know what he's going to do with his other kids. He's not going to, we haven't seen it high, lower them kids. I don't know how many he has. Now, Tiff is trying to get permits from Victor to open up this weed house. The weed house man, Cairo, I think his name is, took Tiffany and Rob around to show him his weed house. It's very meticulous. Everything they do, you have to have certain air, certain temperature. You have to have your clothes blown a certain way. They don't like cross-pollination. It's down to a science. So it takes more money and time to get this down. And basically now Tip is looking for 2 places to hold their plant organization. I think they need one for the females and one for the males. It was really interesting. This show was all about a lot of drugs, a lot of weed, not drugs, but weed. And there seemed like they were really promoting cannibalism. And is that right? Cannibalism? Or cannabis?
Cannabis. That was a good one, though.
They're not promoting eating people. They're promoting weed, cannabis, and in a healthy way. And because he was explaining that the weed if you do the weed like they're doing it, it's real clean like it should be. And that's why when you inhale it, there's no coughing, because the other weed, the way it's grown, it's grown with chemicals, and of course chemicals get into your system. That's what messes up your system, just like smoking. So if you got all kinds of other chemicals, your body's going to react that way. Man, I wonder why. That's really weird, because you would think a lot of people that smoke weed would get lung cancer.
Depends what you're smoking.
She couldn't get a permit fast enough from Victor. I guess she thought she had an inside person there, and he couldn't really help her that quickly. So this is somebody that he couldn't make happy, and what could he do? He had other pressing things on his plate. So Cairo and Tiff were talking away from Rob, and she's like, forget this permit. I want to start doing it now without a permit. And Cairo was trying to explain to her, you can, but that's a risk. So I don't know if she's going to start setting up this plant house and gets busted and not have a permit, and then she's going to go off to jail, and who's going to take care of EJ? Keisha. Somehow EJ gonna get to Keisha.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah. So while Tiff and Cairo were talking in the car, Rob stayed behind to talk to Victor in his office, and he's asking Victor, I don't know what makes him ask Victor. He asked Victor, did he have any idea who killed his Uncle Q? And everybody says a lot of people want to kill him. He said, do you know who killed him? And technically, he was almost dead, but so who had their hands on him. Had some, Duda is the person. But he don't say anything. But I don't understand, what made Rob think Victor knew anything about it?
Maybe because Victor has some sort of power.
Or maybe his ears to the street, because I don't understand what makes you just walk up to him. and find out and ask him who killed, if he knows anything about the killing.
Did they used to do business, Victor and Q?
I wonder. We need a little bit of a backstory on that one. They threw a lot in this episode, a lot of bits and pieces. A lot was going on. Like last week, we're all basically at the house party, and it wasn't all this bunch of back and forth, but they just started throwing people like Bianca. Who was Bianca to Duda? Bianca knew Rosalyn, so who's that? New storylines. Tiana and Shad. What's going to happen there? Where is Shad? I hope he didn't get killed. I guess that was just weird. I hope he's okay. Nook is getting more and more play.
Nook's starting to become a main character.
Yeah, he's getting more and more
screen time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, let us know what you guys thought about the episode in the comments below. Any predictions that you guys have, and maybe we'll talk about it, touch on it in a future episode.
Okay. All right then. Well, that's it for now. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. But we got to go, because why?
We got living to do.
Bye.